good space. We just put no shit on it. It's this way, so I don't know where it would be. But we're here. This is,
So wait, you guys should give them.
So after this, we go
no, both of those were there before I got.
Yep.
I don't know that they're not the same. You know what I'm saying? So this may be a still person. So I don't know who that is. Scotty. So that's Scotty. He's huge. So I don't know. Again, that's what that was. That's not the move. They put that shit out there. So I don't know. They're not making spaces. I really never respect everyone to. Right. If I did my shit like that, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So 2 feet into that.
What did you shoot? Oh, okay. The one on, was it on 3rd Street?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What'd you use?
My phone.
Okay.
And a charger.
Nice.
I was like,
Did you
full hat.
did you feel comfortable? Somewhat.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I couldn't quite figure out how to use it. And all these sticks which are phones. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'm just going to this. Like, how do I use it? And they were like, and then one of them was nice enough to show me.
Good.
I was like, yeah, I was like, you guys are really so nice.
Yeah. That's good. People are very helpful out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You good?
What's that, Matt? Why do you stand over there now? Okay, that's fair. Sure.
Oh, in the 7th. Oh, yes. Even if it's shut down, yeah, right. They just come behind the house. So they say, why is this like this upstairs? Is there original flooring under there?
Yeah, I think that's
Or they, the guy upstairs said it was something to do with the light or about the light. But it's like a whole other layer of paint under here and tile. Yeah, I was over there and raised it. That's the original. Yeah, of course, that's smart. All right, good to see you.
Likewise. All right, see you.
there'll be people standing here, so I might be moving closer into there. So you can see me better.
Yeah.
What are they doing? What's that? Oh, they're trying to shoot. Oh, they're trying to shoot.
No, it's what's up. What's up? How you doing? Just for Ireland. Perfect.
It's because
How many days do you think? God. Not 4 years.
You asked that one question. It was like,
That was something else. That was really funny.
yeah, I'm good.
How many days do you think?
One of those ways we take part of the time.
so, is there a plan?
Sit down and what's the exit?
You need a mic check? Or just focus? 1, 2, okay.
Yep.
I asked Round the other day about that, and he said anybody who says that Republicans aren't talking about fixing the ACA is correct. And then I asked the other day, I said, hey, are you happy to do this? He said, oh, that Schumer got knocked into a new zip code based on the way he kept saying not to do this. So I'm like, what's that? And then it started to think that might be one of the funniest metaphors I've ever heard. Yeah. Right, Dave?
Why don't you and Craig switch spots? Do your favorites.
Oh, over here. Over there. Okay, so you'll be over there. Yeah. No. Barely so. Just put up and stand in the back, but make the shot work without hitting. Yeah, so I'll be here.
Voluntarily make us go through.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right. It's supposed to be over the print press right here. Seriously. Kansas must. So battle every single week. This is established in the galleries. This is print space right here. I mean, you talk about Mike Mastrian. This event is going to be very special.
I didn't rip. Okay, Alex, can you address Alex's question? I just,
You don't know.
no, I don't.
That's why I'm letting you know.
No, but thank you. I need to know because I'm on the board. So thank you.
What was up?
Different gallery. It's about spaces. I don't. You can ask Alex.
Supply and demand.
Something to look forward to. I think it might have been in the works. I'm not sure. It was. Did you like our balcony? Yes, we had it before the balcony. Yes, that's true. And that's why. And then it's worked out. It's got like a 7 o'clock. So hopefully we won't sit in one back. The chair next to you, or you push that. Good. I'm gonna come back.
somebody first.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
You guys have time?
Great time. It was a lot of fun. I wish the cocktail hour was a little longer.
Wow. Gotcha. Where was it? Oh, okay.
It's good. It's very nice. Very, very nice. Every year they put on a really good show.
That's great. Sounds good. Somebody had a match hat. How you can do it.
Yeah, it's like rooting for a shutdown.
They were just. I mean, I don't care. I'm a Phillies fan, so. Oh, wow. Well, you and Brez can hang out during the playoffs. Good luck. Well, just think about it. Once you lose, you don't get knocked out. Fine.
Lamar Jackson's stats changed. Starting there, it's when everyone's seen everything spread out the shifts.
Scotty? Come on, Nikki. Can you hear Nikki? Does it work?
Emily. Melissa can start filming because they're going to be out any month. So she's ready. Okay. You can start rolling. You're such an actor.
Your doc team's gonna come up to you later, like, dude, can't you just have to stuff this guys? And they're like,
Better than picking your nose. So.
oh, yeah, I gotta be, every time I like start like doing something weird, like with my hands here, I'm like, dude, you're on camera, move.
Rude.
Stop it.
Andrew, come on.
Yeah, not here.
At least not in public.
got 4,000 views. All by myself. I just hit him. Well, they make it. I just hit 1,000. You're not following me already? I just hit 1,000 followers. I'm breaking the bank. Yeah, but I just got that ability. You get to 1,000, you can start monetizing. Probably have to send them all that. I am. Boom. You only have one ticket.
I just video I think
Oh, you did? It's not What, Tony? Wait, what? Do I need you for something? Do I need to be some? Yes. Anywhere. Anywhere. I'm not gonna let that go by. No, I'm not telling anybody. Rachel, whose idea was this coming out so early? Chad's fault? Yeah, God forbid. Maybe they've come up with a deal. We've averted a shutdown. It's also possible. What else is going on, Nick? You're not home. Is that Ellie Mae's team? You know what I mean? She Rich, I think all the things we're doing, this is the most work for the team.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon, everyone. We are only hours away from a government shutdown, and the Democrats have a very clear binary choice. They can choose to keep the government open by voting for a short-term, nonpartisan, clean continuing resolution, 24 pages long, or they can vote to shut the government down. That's what we're looking at. They, as you all know, have voted during the time they had the majority 13 different times, and when Biden was in the White House, on short-term continuing resolutions, 13 different times. And so it begs the question is what's changed? And I think what's changed is President Trump is in the White House. That's what this is about. This is politics. And there isn't any substantive reason why there ought to be a government shutdown. This is something that has been done routinely, as I said, 13 different times when the Democrats had the majority. But we are not going to be held hostage for over $1 trillion in new spending on a continuing resolution, nor are we going to be held hostage to allow illegals to get free health care in a continuing resolution. These are things that they're demanding as part of their so-called negotiation. Ladies and gentlemen, there isn't anything here to negotiate. This is a routine funding resolution to keep the government open so that we can continue our appropriations work and fund the government in the old-fashioned way, which is allowing the Appropriations Committee, Democrats and Republicans, to work together as they have been. And by the way, the Democrat leader keeps talking about not consulting. The Appropriations Committee, they picked the date. Democrats and Republicans, the big four on the Appropriations Committee, were consulting. They picked the date for the continuing resolution, November the 21st. And so this has been an open process from the very beginning. This year we opened up the appropriations process, something that wasn't done when the Democrats had the majority here in the Senate. But they have a clear choice in front of them today. And I hope there are Democrats out there. This may not represent the view of their leadership, but I'm hoping there are Democrats out there who are reasonable and understand what's at stake here. And as they have articulated many times in the past, the costs associated to the American people with the government shutdown. This is totally avoidable. It is a decision they're going to have to make, and if the government shuts down, it is on the Senate Democrats. The House has acted, the President's ready to sign the bill, and all that's left is for 8 Democrats to join us in passing that bill today. Senator Brasso.
Well, the radical wing of the Democrat Party is demanding that Chuck Schumer shut down the government. If not, they'll be held to pay. We know that Chuck Schumer has had a war room going for the last couple of months to orchestrate the shutdown. That is their plan. So he comes up with this ransom note asking for $1 trillion to just keep the government open for 4 weeks. Republicans aren't going to buy that. President Trump's not going to sign it. There's a solution, and it's a simple, clean, continuing resolution to keep the government funded for the next 7 weeks as the appropriations committees work through the process. Democrats are pretty familiar with this. They've done it 13 times when Biden was in office, and the minimum number of votes they got was 65. But Chuck Schumer continues to bow down to that liberal wing, AOC, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren. The American people should not suffer the costs and the consequences of a Schumer shutdown because he is politically toxic in his own party.
All right, Mayor.
Good afternoon. Do you think if the president goes through and unilaterally starts to cut programs or lay people off, that will start to resonate with some of your Republican colleagues and say, hey, wait a minute, you know, he has that authority, but these are programs or things that are important to us. Is that a risk for Republicans?
Well, it's a risk that can be totally avoided. And if you're a Democrat who on countless occasions in the past has talked about the adverse consequences, the words of the Democrat leader, harmful, painful, chaotic consequences of a government shutdown, then just vote to keep the government open. I mean, those are things that they don't control, we don't control. How a shutdown gets managed is, at this point, a hypothetical question.
But your members aren't concerned that this might backfire and sometimes these
programs come back and they say, wait a minute, that was important to my state, that was important to my district.
Our members are unified that a government shutdown is a really bad idea for all those reasons, and it's the exact reason why Democrats ought to vote to keep the government open.
Democrats have been pretty clear. They're going to defeat this House CR when it comes to the floor today. What is Plan B? Will you keep on bringing this back to the floor? And do you think the House should reconvene before Tuesday to maybe move the ball?
I don't know what the House can do that they haven't already done. They passed the bill. It's a bill that's passed by the House, sitting here in the Senate, ready to be signed into law by the President. And so, no, it's up to the Senate Democrats. That's where we are. And if they decide to vote it down tonight, they're going to be the ones that have to explain at midnight tonight why the government is shut down. It's really pretty straightforward. And this is something, again, that's been routine around here for a long time until all of a sudden the far left, as Senator Barrasso pointed out, hijacked the Democrat leadership here in the Senate, and they've decided to hijack the American people and hold them hostage to try and get a laundry list, a wish list, a Christmas list of their left-wing priorities attached, in their case, to a 4-week continuing resolution. Ours is 7 weeks, but they'll have the same leverage 7 weeks from now that they have today. And as I've said before, we're happy to sit down with them and talk about the concerns they have, the issues they have with, for example, the premium tax credits. But you got to do that. You can't do that in the context of a hostage situation. They need to release the hostage.
If there is a shutdown.
Right, and that's why we need to keep the government open. I'm just saying, the Farm Service agencies in my state, the Federal Highway Administration employees in my state or any of the other states, and my colleagues who are represented here, the Park Service employees in our state, these are all people that are going to be affected by this. And not to mention our military men and women, or men and women in uniform. So this is a totally avoidable crisis. And again, we are not going to be held hostage by the Democrats for more than $1 trillion in new spending and all kinds of other items on their liberal wish list to include free health care for illegal immigrants in this country. That is all part of what can be avoided if they simply vote yes tonight.
Are you ruling out negotiations with Democrats if there's a shutdown? Are you ruling out any negotiations with Democrats if there is a shutdown?
The negotiation happens when the government's open. So let's keep the government open, and then we will have the negotiation. I've said it. I've said it yesterday at the meeting in the White House. I've said it to my Democrat colleagues. We're happy to sit down and talk about these other issues that they're interested in, but it should not have anything to do with whether or not, for a 7-week period, we keep the federal government open so that this government can continue to do its work and that we can continue to do our work through the regular appropriations process to fund the government. This is not complicated. It's something that's happened routinely around here for a long time, including the 13 times it happened when the Democrats had the majority. So it's a binary choice. They get a chance to make that vote today, and I'm hoping, I sincerely do hope, in the interest and the best interest of the American people, that the Democrats here in Washington decide to keep our federal government open. Thank you.
Your impression?
I'm like too far. Shouldn't have let him go.
I walked away.
Yeah. That's great. Super shutdown. Ryan's coming. Yeah.
See this from Tom?
What?
This is email from Tom.
So here's my burning question. If there's a shutdown, does the Senate carry on staying?
Yes.
It does?
The food, they just put out a notice today that food services still will continue.
Save. Yeah, but I need the carrot in the basement. But he said it's open. Whoa, saved my life.
You're welcome. I mean, it's not the first time I've saved your life, but yeah.
I'm sure it's not, but I mean,
Whatever you're eating.
and since we're going to be trapped here,
Well, that's interesting.
Have they started that overnight show one time today? They heard your that was the show at Hospital Space, right?
Yeah, we go to 12:30. Yeah. I don't think it, I could be wrong.
So 11 is. They probably are. They are never.
So I kind of feel slightly obligated to do it.
They're going to do a special.
Bakersfield, California.
Julie's doing it. Because I think they're going to do a lunch. They're supposed to stop on October 6th, but then they give DC 2 weeks period to October 20th. But they've already stopped. They've already are using us. Okay. October 6th is when we're supposed to stop using us. But they can do something. They launch us sometime. That's when we're yeah, so right now we have one just up. First order. There's one. 7. There it is. We're keeping more than 7, and they're moving 8. And so it used to be that 8 was mostly studios, and 7 was mostly so now they build studios on 7, and they're building newsrooms. No. Once like I think October 20th, they just stopped. But makeup people. I think there's going to be some. Not all their studios are going to be ready. They'll like base their studio space for you. But like January 1st, it's.
Put it in the fire out in the field, and that's big. Yeah. You need to get S4s and S50s in the bonfires.
We're in this third phase.
That's Bakersfield, California.
They're not showing stuff.
Hey, I don't want to hear nothing about San Diego. San Diego has my heart.
We're not getting there in so
Ha!
it's like when Sarah Leonard picture.
The raining is so accurate. My cows are not.
And we were for a while.
I don't accept any San Diego stuff. That's fine.
My cousin went there for a.
But if we get something, they just take it.
You're just having so much fun in the sun. You get a kick out of it. And then when you get hot,
But they also, I guess, they describe it as a med mod. So they want to do this.
those actually.
San Diego's great. I had some
They're so great.
And they just signed
So
over with
great. They have a light rail system. Now, it's not stellar, but it'll do the job. It'll get you places, you know? It'll get you
That's what it sounds like. Scott, they have a deal with Scott.
Scott.
Oh yeah, we did get a contract. So it's it's two different things. He's already on. He's on this week. He's on. I saw him today. Kevin. It's kind of funny though. Like I want to be able to be clear. This is my last hit on MSNBC, and I don't know if I'll get that luxury. No, when it's MS now, I won't.
This for real.
Yeah, it's
5 minutes later.
Right, exactly. I mean, I might have already happened. I may never be on there again. they've already been drying up. Like I did a hit last week, but I haven't had a hit.
Okay.
Right. But that's what it'll be like. It's funny though, the media ecosystem is like everyone is so niche. People only watch CNN, only watch MSNBC. So I've run into people. Hi. You don't work? Are you doing something different? Because they don't see me on MSNBC.
And they're watching on last night.
Because they're investment firms. It was the same thing on CNN. Once you don't appear on the thing that they watch, you might as well. You're gonna be in Saturday. You're gonna be here Saturday. Two soccer games.
wise, good? Good? Are you okay? Okay. Cool. Good?
This is his first year. Oh, it's his third. Oh, are they? He's actually saying something happened. Save us the misery. Yeah, the walk. It's cool because it kept your team in it longer. At least it's the last walk. Really tips your cutting down. But it's all in the other. I mean, the mess thing this year. ALCS, or not LCS. Oh, that was
about like the Red Sox. The Red Sox has had more success than that.
First thing I said to him. You do it every day.
Burgess, how come you don't do your hair like you do for Modern Show all the time?
That's what I said to him. First thing I
You
said
look so sharp. Not that you don't look good now.
No, he's
I had a double take.
My arms are longer and strangling.
He's complimenting you.
I'm saying nice things. You look good.
He's not happy.
Trying to be supportive.
You know, Ryan, time slows down during a government shutdown.
Oh, does it?
It actually goes slower.
Oh, great. That's terrific.
Just what we needed.
It's just what I wanted. 35 days really felt like a year.
It's very similar. It's kind of like being in outer space. It actually, yeah. It gets slower during a government shutdown.
Do we shrink? Do our bodies shrink?
We'll find out.
Chad was a lot taller before the two Trump.
I'm sure Han Zimmerman read O's around this place. Time definitely dilates from here to
That's true too. That's also a possibility.
Fresh legs.
everybody. Okay. We have Senators Murray and Klobuchar and Schatz. And before I get into my substantive remarks, I just heard something that Trump said. Here's what he said. We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible and bad for them, and irreversible like cutting vast numbers of people out. Well, there it is. Trump admitted himself that he is using Americans as political pawns. He is admitting that he is doing the firing of people if, God forbid, it happens. He's using Americans as pawns, as I said. Democrats do not want a shutdown. We stand ready to work with Republicans to find a bipartisan compromise, and the ball's in their court. When he says he will do things, he is taking ownership. He is taking ownership. It's just like in his first term when he said he will own the shutdown. It's just a point I wanted to make. Okay, now, we're 10 hours away from government funding expiring simply because the Republicans are not serious about keeping it open. Finally, after months of asking, months, and mounting pressure, Leader Jeffries and I went to the White House yesterday to meet with the President and Republican leaders to find a way forward. And sitting in the room, it was very clear, behind closed doors, that the President hasn't fully grasped the magnitude of the disaster he's causing Americans. As costs continue to skyrocket for Americans, thanks to Trump's tariffs, economic policies, clean energy policies, and disastrous blunders, Americans are prepared to spend 114% more on their health insurance. That's right, that just came out. According to the Kaiser Families Foundation's analysis today, without ACA premium tax credits, premiums will double, more than double on average. And this not only affects those on ACA, it affects just about every American family with health insurance, because it is, as has been documented, when they get the deep cuts on ACA and on Medicaid, they don't have as much money, and they raise the costs on everybody else. So virtually no American with health insurance is immune from these disastrous Trump cuts. And what are Republicans doing about this? Avoiding lying. This week, look at this poster. This one here. Let's get it front and center. I borrowed Thune's poster today, as many of you saw. This is what the House Republican Conference called. Lisa McClain, the head, walked members through polling and advised them not to make the message about health care, because ours lose that argument. That's not me. That's one of the Republican leaders who's in charge of messaging. They're right. She's right. Their position is so callous, and the damage is much greater than even people thought, that it's very unpopular. So when they're up against the brutal fact that Americans are to pay, take this one up, 114% more for marketplace enrollees who currently receive financial assistance. That's the Kaiser Foundation. It's devastating, devastating to them. And let me be clear, because they like to tell lies because they can't argue the merits. So they make up things. They said, they're saying undocumented people cannot and will not receive premium tax credits. They say that undocumented people are going to get these credits. That is absolutely false. That is one of the big lies they tell, so they don't have to discuss the issues. The federal government, by law that we passed, does not fund health insurance for undocumented immigrants in Medicaid, period, nor the ACA, nor Medicare. Undocumented immigrants do not get federal health insurance premiums, period. Period. They're lying. I hope you'll call them on it when they bring it up. Some of the newspapers have. Okay? I said this directly to Speaker Johnson in the Oval Office. I told him what he was saying was bull, because he said, you guys want that. And he just smirked and didn't even answer it. And why are they lying? They know how unpopular their position is on health care, that they shouldn't talk about it. Republicans know perfectly well that undocumented immigrants are already prohibited, as I said, from getting insurance on ACA, Medicare, or Medicaid. They know perfectly well not a single sentence or clause or comma that we're pushing in our bill does that, but they're lying because they know they're screwed if this debate turns into one about health care. And guess what? That's just what we are doing. We are making this debate a debate on health care. If you want an indication of how serious Republicans are about keeping the government open, who wants the shutdown? There's no better proof than the fact that Speaker Johnson sent everybody home this week, ensuring a shutdown no matter what the Senate did. So don't argue who wants the shutdown. It's Johnson. And when we asked President Trump to meet with us, Hakeem and I, by all reports, it was Johnson who made him pull the meeting back. Pull the meeting back. And if you want another indication, and so, by the way, so the House Republicans should be here, but they're home. If you want another indication of how serious Republicans are about funding the government, look no further than the deepfake AI video the President tried to put up last night after our meeting, when we were actually trying to fund the government. His video was dumb, it was childish, it was petty. It's something that a 5-year-old would do, not a president of the United States, but it shows how unserious they are. They don't give a damn about the harm they will cause with their shutdown. Now, Republicans have until midnight to cut the garbage and get serious with us about solving the health care crisis. When I was majority leader, this is what I did with Thune's chart this morning. He had all these years that we passed CRs. We passed budget bills. We did. You know why? As leader, I sat down with the Republicans every one of those years and created a bipartisan bill. Their bill is partisan. They call it clean. We call it partisan. It has no Democratic input. Thune never talked to me. Johnson never talked to Hakeem. And now Thune is saying, well, the appropriators are working at it. As Patty will tell you, they are trying to work out some budget bills. But the two issues they couldn't decide were health care and rescissions, impoundment, pocket rescissions, and they all agreed the 4 leaders should decide that. And that's when we wrote Thune, and that's when we wrote Johnson, and they never even met with us. So that's why we were able to avoid shutdowns, because we did it in a bipartisan way. They are partisan totally with no input from us. So, as Republicans continue to lie, distract, duck, hide, Democrats remain ready to get to work, negotiate a bipartisan agreement, and keep the government funded. Senator Murray. I'm going to take all my papers here. Thank you.
Well, there is less than 12 hours to fund the government. House Republicans aren't even here in town, they're on vacation. Meanwhile, Senate Republicans are about to force another vote on a bill that already did not pass and that 8 of them did not even bother to show up to vote for the first time. And Donald Trump, well, the president is resorting to AI deepfakes and bold-faced lies because the actual facts are pretty bad for him here. So here are the facts. Healthcare rates are being set right now. Open enrollment is weeks away. Idaho open enrollment starts October 15th. So American citizens are about to see their premiums skyrocket. In my state, family paying $238 per month for their health insurance right now, thanks to Republicans, they could pay as much as $1,800 per month next year. Look, is the president totally unfit to hold office? Yeah. But it is not about that. This is about health care. He is choosing to shut down the government rather than work with Democrats to fix the health care crisis Republicans created. If it seems like the only sentence that Republicans can form these days consists of a noun, verb, and illegal immigrant, that's because they have to resort to outright lies to defend their truly god-awful health care policies. Their attacks on health care are already hurting American citizens, millions of them. There is no getting around it. Cutting health care by more than $1 trillion, hospitals are already laying off staff and closing down across the country. Millions are going to soon be kicked off of their health care. So Donald Trump can lie, J.D. Vance can lie, but people are still going to get those letters in the mail telling them how much more their health insurance will cost next year. Now, apparently, when President Trump was looking over Democratic health care proposals, he said, and I quote, "Go F yourself." That tells you how much Donald Trump cares about whether families go bankrupt paying for their health care. Premiums on the marketplace are set to more than double. Washington State had an uninsured rate of 15% before the Affordable Care Act. Now, because of that, it is down to 5%. People now, though, are going to lose their health insurance because of Trump and Republicans. They're going to put off their care. Many will get sicker, and some will even die. That is the reality. That is why we're here fighting for health care. I'll be voting no on the partisan Republican-only funding bill that already didn't pass a few weeks ago. I'll be voting yes on the Democratic bill that not only funds government, but also addresses this GOP healthcare crisis and protects Congress's power of the purse. I am ready to keep the government open. As I have said over the last 2 weeks, I am ready. I am willing to stay at the table for as long as it takes. But the question remains, will the Republican leadership get serious and negotiate?
Thank you, Patty. Senator Klobuchar.
Thank you, Senator Schumer, and to my colleagues. So yesterday, after weeks of waiting to see if the president would lead Senator Schumer and Leader Jeffrey go over to the White House, this is not a joke. People are literally standing on a healthcare cliff right now. For members of our caucus, when the Republicans, a whole bunch of them, didn't show up and vote last week, what did our people do? We went out and we met with the people in our state. We met with doctors and nurses. We went to rural hospitals. We talked to people that can barely hold on right now. This, what one farmer called a perfect storm of ugly. The tariffs are hitting them, the markets are drying up, and now they have their health care costs. So many of them, especially in rural areas, are on these individual plans. So what does the president do after this meeting? He posts that deep fake offensive video. This isn't a joke. This isn't political theater. He's so proud of the art of the deal, and it is his time to lead. He has said repeatedly, and you've all seen the real videos, where he said this is a time for a president to lead in the past. Well, this is his time to lead. When we talk to the people out there that aren't the ones on the Mar-a-Lago golf course, you hear what's really happening. They look at those grocery bills. They look at their electricity bills. Those things aren't deep fakes. Those things don't lie. Those things are real. So what are they facing? Healthcare cliff. 20 million Americans are set to see their premiums double when they pick a plan starting November 1st. And for those of you that ask, why are you doing this now? This isn't a December thing. This isn't a January thing. This is a now thing. This is happening right now. And the only way to fix this is to do something about it now. Those families that don't know if they're going to have cancer research, and those researchers on Alzheimer's that are looking at going to other countries and looking at what's happening with NIH, this is a now thing. So I hope people remember that this is not a funny deep fake meme. This is not anything he says. And for those people in my state that voted for me and him, and there's a lot of them, they actually thought he'd bring costs down. That's what he said would happen on day 1. Well, it is day 253. And people are paying more for their prescription drugs. They're paying more for their beef. They're paying more for their groceries, and they're paying more for their electricity, and they're sure paying more for their health care premiums. This is his moment to lead.
I'm struck by the extent to which sort of DC brain has infected us all, where we think that this is some sort of cooked up demand. The reason that we are trying to take action now on health care is because people's premiums are going up this coming week by letter. I got a text from a buddy of mine in my fantasy football league, but it was not a trash talking text. He got a letter, 40% increase for his father's premiums. This is not a talking point. This is not an allegation. This is literally what's happening. And 40%, you should be lucky if it's a 40% increase. The average increase is going to be 114%. And so the time to solve this problem is now. Open enrollment is now. Letters are going out now. Now, some insurance companies are sending out letters saying, your rates are increasing, but we're not sure by how much. And some insurance companies are being jawboned into not even sending letters at all. Now, there is only one thing worse than your rates going up on January 1. It is not being told until December that your rates are going up on January 1. People are going to lose their health care. This is not a joke. This is not a political talking point. This is what's going to happen across the country. The idea that this is some Democratic priority or independent priority or Republican priority is nonsense. Tens of millions of people are specifically going to see a 114% increase, and everybody else is in the same risk pool. And so all we're saying is, look, if we were... This is a very damaging issue for Republicans. And if we were terribly cynical, we would just let them stew in it. But we want to solve it because we care in our bones about the people we represent. And so there is still an opportunity to do something about this. There is still an opportunity to do something about this. None of us like shutdowns. But the only way to avoid a shutdown is to sit down between the political parties, and that includes the party out of power, and to make a deal. There's still time.
Start off with Buffalo.
All right.
From the Bills.
All right. Thank you, Senator.
He's from Buffalo, you know.
Yes, I am. At this point, it seems like a shutdown is inevitable. When you get to that point, what's the plan to get out of it?
Look, first, it's right now in the Republicans' court. We said this to Trump yesterday. He can easily call up Thune and Johnson and say, just add the two parts we want added to the bill. They can take it out of our bill, put it in theirs, and solve it. So it's in their court. And let me just say, the American people are learning how bad this health care crisis is, and they will put tremendous heat on Republicans to solve it. Yes?
Leader Thune just said that there are going to be no negotiations with Democrats if the government is shut down. So how long are Democrats willing to stomach the shutdown?
Look, it's in their court to solve it. It's their shutdown. And as I said, they are going to face tremendous pressure from the American people. Trump in the room admitted, I said to him, this is going to be very bad for you, these increases in the health care. And it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for America or anybody. And he admitted that. So I think we believe that this is an issue worth fighting for. We hope the Republicans avoid the shutdown. But if they do it, it's because they didn't even negotiate with us till the last minute. Yes.
The president is now threatening these irreversible cuts to the workforce, to programs. Is that a risk that Democrats are willing to take?
The bottom line is he's doing it anyway. They've already cut 300,000 people. Whether there's a shutdown or not, it'll be up to Trump whether he's going to let Musk, formerly Doge, vote, do these cuts, do these layoffs, and do these firings. It will fall on him, as I said. He's the one doing the firings, not Democrats. And that's what it shows. Yes. No, right here.
Times poll out this morning finds that 2% of Americans rank healthcare as the #1 problem facing the country, which is to say, a very small percentage. How do you think about that disconnect between the language you all are using? This is
It's not what it's, I don't know what the poll numbers were, because yes, without question, wherever we go, wherever we talk about it, it has our back on this issue, and it shows that who do you trust much more? Who do you trust more to deal with the health care crisis? They trust Democrats. And one final thing, they're going to start getting these notices tomorrow. A lot of people don't know it. But once they start getting these notices, and there's these huge, staggering increases, you know, we thought it was $400 per family on ACA, and somewhat more, somewhat less for people not on ACA. Now it's more, it's 114%. They're going to be staggered, and they're going to say, what's happening? And we're going to be right there explaining to them, it's because the Republicans wouldn't negotiate with us. We're ready to do it any time, and there'll be huge heat on them on this issue. Nope, last one, this gentleman. Had to call on someone from this side, the left side.
Over the last decade and a half, in instances when Republicans have shut down the government over one issue or another, order ACA funding, they did not get the policies that they were requesting. What makes you think this will be different for Democrats?
Because the health care crisis that they created, in part because we asked them 3 times to vote on extending the ACA, and they voted no 3 times. And we believe that this issue is a real issue for the American people. We also believe that when there's a Republican president, a Republican Senate, a Republican House, the natural inclination is to blame the Republicans. That's what the polling data shows. Who do you know, a neutral question, who do you blame, Democrats or Republicans? It's like +20, they'd blame the Republicans. And we also believe the fact that they wouldn't negotiate with us, which became clearer last week when Trump said yes and Trump said no, the American people don't like that. So we think we're on our front foot as we go into this fight. Thank you, everybody.
And congratulate him on his new grandchild. Yeah, see,
in the middle of the caucus, my phone rang, and it was my wife. We have a beautiful little boy, name yet not told to us by our daughter and daughter-in-law.
Congrats. Congrats.
Good seeing you.
Hi, honey.